I remember the exact moment I realized my six-figure salary was the most expensive trap I ever fell into. A golden cage that kept me exactly where I was, broke. I was 32, earning $150,000 a year, corner office, company car. Everyone told me I'd made it, but I had less saved than when I made 40,000. The more I earned, the more I spent, on the image of success, not the substance. My salary was a seductive lie. Here's the first truth that shattered my illusion. A salary is not a path to wealth. It's a payment for your time, and time is the one resource you cannot make more of. A 2022 study by the Employee Benefit Research Institute found that nearly half of all workers earning over $100,000 live paycheck to paycheck. You're trading your life for dollars, and the cage gets gilded the more you earn. But here's what nobody tells you about that trade. I met a man named David, a mid-level manager at a tech firm. He made $200,000 a year, but he had zero investments, a mortgage he couldn't afford, and credit card debt from vacations he took to prove he was successful. When the company downsized, he lost everything in 6 months. The cage wasn't the salary, it was the lifestyle it demanded. He wasn't wealthy, he was a high-income broke person. This brings me to the second truth. Your salary creates an illusion of security that actually prevents you from building real wealth. Behavioral economist Richard Thaler calls this the income anchoring bias. Your brain anchors your spending to your income, not your needs. The more you make, the more you spend, and your savings rate stays the same. You're on a hedonic treadmill, running faster but going nowhere. And the worst part, you feel too successful to change. Take my friend Elena, a partner at a law firm pulling in $400,000 a year. She drove a leased Mercedes, wore designer suits, and sent her kids to private school. When I asked her net worth, she laughed nervously. She had $60,000 in savings. 6 months after she lost her job due to a merger, she was selling furniture. The golden cage had bars made of debt and expectations. And this leads to the deepest insight, the one that changed everything for me. Real wealth isn't about how much you earn. It's about how much you keep and how hard your money works while you sleep. The rich don't trade time for money. They trade money for time. Albert Einstein called compound interest the eighth wonder of the world for a reason. A salary is linear, wealth is exponential, and the gap between them is where most people get stuck forever. Consider this. A janitor named Ronald Reed died in 2014 worth $8 million. He made minimum wage. He invested consistently in blue-chip stocks and lived below his means. Meanwhile, thousands of executives with six-figure salaries retired broke. The difference? Reed understood that wealth is built by owning assets, not by earning a paycheck. His salary wasn't his wealth, his portfolio was. So here's the synthesis. Your salary is not your enemy, but it is a trap if you treat it as your identity. The moment you tie your self-worth to your income, you've lost. Real wealth comes from decoupling earning from spending and redirecting your income into assets that generate passive cash flow. A 2023 report from the Federal Reserve showed that the top 1% of wealth holders derive less than 20% of their income from salaries. The rest? Capital gains, dividends, business ownership. Ignoring this cost my uncle everything. He worked 40 years as a senior accountant, retired at 65 with a pension that covered his basic needs. But he never invested, never built assets. When inflation hit 5%, his pension lost half its purchasing power in a decade. He now works part-time at a grocery store at 73. Not because he wanted to, but because his salary-based life left him no other choice. The one thing to remember, your salary is a tool, not a destination. Break the cage by using your income to buy assets that buy you freedom, because the only wealth that matters is the kind that lets you walk away. If this opened your eyes, hit follow. We're just getting started. Next week, I'm breaking down the exact asset portfolio that turned a janitor into a millionaire. You're not going to want to miss it. Follow for wealth mindset shifts that change your bank account.